buenos dias. It's Tuesday, October 9th. This is Channel 7 News in Santa Ana, California, reporting on today's news. The Supreme Court recently ruled in favor of the voter ID law, which requires voters to show an identification with a current residential street address. This caused an outrage in the Native American community because Native Americans living in North Dakota aren't provided with actual residential street addresses. Without a valid street address, Native Americans aren't able to take part in the voting process. I now turn to Monique Garcia, reporting live from the Turtle Mountain Reservation in North Dakota. She is interviewing Jamie Azura, the tribal chairman of the Turtle Mountain Band of Chippewa Indians. Now to you, Monique.
Thank you, Carla. I am here on the Turtle Mountain Reservation with Jamie Azura. Do you feel like the American voting process provided equality for all?
No, I actually don't think that it provides equality for all, just because different races and ethnicities have different opportunities, and those that are like more in the poor neighborhoods and stuff like that. Just like here, we don't have all the same opportunities and resources that many of the people in different areas have.
Do you think this law is discriminating the Native Americans in North Dakota?
I feel like this law is discriminating against us Native Americans, mainly because a lot of people here don't have a street address which they can use to have a voter ID. A lot of people here have P.O. boxes, which doesn't allow us to get the needs that we need in order to cast our vote.
How is this affecting you in your life?
This is already affecting me because the new elections are coming in less than 3 weeks, and this law is already stopping me and many other residents from casting our vote and showing our opinions in the political viewpoint.
With that being said, what are your thoughts on not having the right to vote because you need a street address?
I feel like this law is necessary and unjust to the people that live here, mainly because here we have P.O. boxes, which apparently you can't vote with that. You need a street address to actually vote. And I feel with like the new vote coming in like less than 3 weeks, I feel like it's something that was aimed against us and put in our way to stop us from voting and giving out our opinions.
Thank you, Jamie, and well, here we have it. Thank you so much for your time, and we're returning back to the studio with Carla.
Thank you, Monique. Today in the studio, we have Dr. Ulloa, a member of the American Indian Studies Department at the University of North Dakota, who will offer her informed opinion about the North Dakota law and its implications.
So the current problem we are looking at is a controversial voter ID law, which was recently ruled against overturning by the Supreme Court. This happened in North Dakota on October 9th, 2018. This law requires voters to present an identification that verifies a current residential street address. And this law was implemented and kept because it will supposedly prevent voter fraud. Not many Native Americans living on reservations have street addresses. Instead, they only have P.O. boxes from which they send and receive mail. And those do not qualify as street addresses that can be used to obtain valid IDs to vote at polling stations. Poverty and homelessness has also affected the Native American community's ability to obtain a current street address. The problem with keeping this law upheld is that it is clearly a minority disincentive. It is creating an obstacle for minorities and disencouraging them from participating in the voting process. It is also important to realize this law will not only affect Native Americans. This affects homeless citizens and college students who can confirm a current residential street address. Another important thing to be aware of is that the probability that someone gets struck by lightning is more common than someone committing voter fraud. Plus, most cases of voter fraud have been traced to be caused by clerical errors or bad data matching practices, according to a Brennan Center seminal report. So us American citizens have to weigh our options and decide if losing eligible voters because of this law is really worth it. Should they really be missing out on the opportunity to vote just because they don't have a residential street address? Thank you for having me. Back to you, Carla.
Thank you, Dr. Ulloa, for your comments. And that's the news on Tuesday, October 9th in Santa Ana. Join us at 11 tonight for a late night breaking news, and again tomorrow at 6 a.m.